Hello, this is Maria and welcome to my stamping world. And today I'd like to show you how to convert these or turn these clear storage stamp cases that you can buy from Stampin' Up into designer cases. Of course, you're going to need some clear plastic cases, and you can get them. You can order them from Stampin' Up in the catalog, and they come in packages of 4 for $6.50. You're also going to need some designer series paper. Now, whether you choose to use your retired paper or your current paper is entirely up to you. The paper here is Blueberry Crisp and is a current designer series paper in the catalog. The size of the paper is 10.5 by 7 1/8. And I have scored it in two places at the spine. You really can't see it very well, but I have scored it at 5 and 5.5. So two places, 5 and 5.5. And I'll put those measurements on the screen when I do the editing. So 10.5 by 7 1/8. If you happen to cut it a little bit short, you can always put a strip of scallop paper to extend the edges. So just kind of have fun and play with it. I have put my unmounted stamps in these cases. Now, this tutorial is not about unmounting stamps from the wooden blocks. I'm just going to show you how to make a designer case. The stamp case is going to be for a stamp set I have called Fifth Avenue Floral. And when I got the wood mounted stamps, one of the first things that I did was to make a copy of the plastic sheet that had the graphics on it. So I did have that. So that has come in very useful right now when I want to create a designer series paper. If you don't have that, then you can always stamp an image on some Whisper White cardstock, and so that you have the image of the stamp. So I cut all the images into separate pieces, and I'm mounting them on Pacific Point cardstock, and as well as these two images on Whisper White as well, and you'll see in a moment why I've done that. These in Pacific Point, and it shows up better on the designer paper, and I kind of like to pretty things up with some snail adhesive or what other adhesive you like. Just attach the image to the desired color of cardstock, and in this case, as I mentioned, it's Pacific Point. Now I've already attached it to a piece of Whisper White, and I have already done the other ones. The next step is to put it on your designer. Now, when I unmounted my stamps, I managed to save the sticky strip that has the name of the stamp on it, and I will put that right in the middle of the scored section. You can put some piece of white cardstock behind it if you wish, but I could read that quite well. And this is in between the score lines at 5 and 5.5, so that's actually part of the spine. Now you have to decide which way is up and which way is down, and in this particular pattern it doesn't matter. And this is going to be my front, and what I have done is I've cut out a piece of top note using my top note die in Pacific Point, and I'm going to mount this stamp and the saying underneath it, and that will be the front. On the back, you can use the back cover as well, and you can put just kind of lay things out as you like them. And say, okay, I like that, but I want to do something along the edges. So what I've done is I've taken a strip of Pacific Point and I've scalloped the edge and put a little scrap of ribbon around that I had actually cut for another project, and I just pulled it out for this one. And you can put another one along the back if you wish. You can use your photo corner punch. You can use little flowers that you make as long as they're not too high. You can put rhinestones, pearls, buttons, whatever you want to decorate the case. I'm actually not going to do anything more than to just put that scallop strip on. Now there's my designer case completed. Now you will note that I did remove this and put it under a piece of white cardstock, and actually it does show up a lot better. So now the next step is to insert this in the case. When you get the clear plastic case and you open it up, you'll see that it has almost a second skin that if you decide not to put stamps in it, you can put a card that you've made into the back of it, and then you've got a sample of a card that you made with the stamp set. In this case, I'm going to use it to my advantage by putting, sorry, I just dropped this on the floor, by putting the new designer paper that I've created. And I'm going to insert it through the bottom so that you can, my hand doesn't get in the way, and you just insert it under between the second skin and the case. And voila, you have got, take that paper away, you have got a designer case. Close it up, and there's the front. Now it's a little bit crooked, so let me just straighten that. It opens at the top and at the bottom. There, that's a little better. And you just put your, I use it for stamps. You can use it for a mat pack. You can use it to store your embellishments in. Someone told me they can make actually a calendar and pen set with this. So there's lots of uses for these cases. Again, like I said, this tutorial is not about unmounting stamps, but just how to make the designer case. Thank you very much for watching.